do you select an inverter? Solar and backup. I'll be talking about how to select an inverter for a solar system, covers sine wave, modified sine wave, grid tie, and backup power. We carry many sizes, types, models, and brands of inverters. Various options are also available, and choosing which one is best from such a long list can be a chore. Mind you, there is no best inverter for all purposes, because what might be suitable for an ambulance might not be suitable for an RV. Power output is usually the main factor, but there are many others. There are many factors that go into selecting the best inverter and options for your application, especially when you are getting into higher power ranges like 800 watts or more. Fortunately, our page should give you the information you need to get your selection down to what would work best for you. We offer both standard residential and light commercial inverters, as well as RV, marine, and mobile inverters. Now, let me tell you some basic facts about watts, watt hours, amp, and amp hours. The poor watt is always misunderstood because watts is basically just the measure of how much power a device can use or can supply when turned on. A watt is a watt. There is no such thing as watt per hour or watt per day. If something uses 100 watts, that is simply the voltage times the amps. If it draws 10 amps at 12 volts or 1 amp at 120 volts, it is still 120 watts. A watt is defined as joules per day. So saying watts per hour is equally saying watts per hour per day. Now a watt hour. A watt hour is also a kilowatt hour. Symbol is simply saying how many watts times how many hours power is used. This is what most people mean when they say watt per day. If a light uses 100 watts and it is on for 9 hours per day, it is 900 watt hours. If a microwave uses 1500 watts and it is on for 10 minutes, that is 1/6 of an hour times 1500, which is what 250 watt hours. When you buy power from your friendly utility, look at your last bill. They sell it to you at so much per kilowatt hour. 1000 watts to 1 hour and 1 watt to 1000 hours. Now to the amp. An amp is a measure of electrical current at the moment. Amps do not come in amps per day or amps per hour either. Amps are important because they determine what wire size you need, especially on the DC side of an inverter. All wire has resistance, and amps flowing through a wire makes heat. So if your wire is too small for the amps, you get hot wires. You can also get a voltage drop if the wire is too small for the amps, which is usually not a good thing. An amp is defined as 1 coulomb per second. A coulomb is the charge for 6.24 times 1018 electrons. Therefore, 1 amp is equal to the charge of 6.24 times 1018 electrons passing a point in circuit in 1 second. Finally, to the amp hours. Amp hours is usually abbreviated AH. They are what most people mean when they say amps per hour. Amps times time is equals to AH, and AH are very important as it is the main measure of battery capacity. Since most inverters run from batteries, the AH determine how long you can run. So why don't you go see our battery page for more details?